Welcome to Payne's, an eclectic and contemporary British restaurant located in Gas City, Indiana.
Hi everyone, I'm Natalie.
And I'm Tedra.
And in this video today, we're going to be talking all about the mission of Payne's Restaurant. And to start, we'll be going over who they are as an organization, what their mission is, some of the background and history about Payne's, as well as what they serve and specialize in, and then we're going to touch a little bit on the target demographic of Payne's. First of all, Payne's Restaurant, they serve an eclectic menu from a variety of cuisines. They specifically focus on British and European foods. However, as Tedra will touch on in a bit, they have a huge array of foods that they serve. They use fresh ingredients and they really emphasize supporting local farmers. A little bit about the history of Payne's. They opened in May of 2006. A guy named Stephen Payne, who lived in Yorkshire, England, decided one day when he was 21 to just leave his house and move to Indiana because he knew that that's where the home of James Dean was. And while he was here, he decided to open up a restaurant where he could cook his food that his mom used to make him back home, and he really just wanted to bring a touch and taste of England right here to the Midwest.
Things they specialize in is, so they mainly want to focus on British food and like European food like fish and chips and mash and bread pudding, but they have like an incredibly wide variety of foods. They also really care about nutrition and having farm fresh food like Natalie talked about. Everything from smoothies to gluten-free sandwiches, and everything all over the market that is kind of targeting the younger generation.
And their company mission, what we took away from our interview with the manager, Adam Bretherton, was that they really focus on two things. They don't have a specific mission statement, but the first thing that they focus on is family. Like I said earlier, Stephen Payne is all about family, bringing in home-cooked foods, and so, like I said, he wanted to bring a taste of England here to the U.S. And then the second thing, as we've mentioned a couple of times, is health. They believe in this idea of farm to table. All their meat is grass-fed beef, no antibodies, organic produce, things like that.
So finally, for their target demographic, they would like the target demographic to be everyone. They have everything from college students from IWU and Taylor coming in. They used to have a little more of college students, and it more recently has turned into people coming down and sitting down for dinner because of probably the price. It is a little on the more expensive side, but their aesthetic really is trying to draw in the younger generation, as well as the families. As well as like the men that are just getting off of work and want a beer, because they also have like a pub kind of vibe to them. They have a very wide range of what they would like their target demographic to be.
Yeah, so it's very difficult to like figure out who they're specifically targeting to and what kind of customers they're trying to engage. So that's something that we hope to be able to work on throughout this semester.
Hi, my name is Garrett Troop.
And I'm Kendra Frieden.
And today we're going to be talking to you about the customer and community engagement used in Payne's Restaurant. The great part about this restaurant and the purpose that they're serving in the community is that everybody needs food. The benefits that they're looking to serve for people in this community is that Payne's offers a very unique experience. They're a restaurant that is obviously based out of England. They look to cater towards all sorts of people, and they create a very unique and fun atmosphere. And the things that are unique about Payne's is that they are English. They have a lot of English staff, and obviously the owner of the restaurant, or the creator of the restaurant, Stephen Payne, was from England. And what's unique about it, especially in the Indiana, Marion, Gas City area, is that they offer a very healthy selection of food. I think in a market that offers more of fast food that doesn't necessarily provide that nutrition that some people might be looking for, that's something that Payne's definitely values. They search to satisfy that need within their market. And obviously, again, they offer a very large variety of items on their menu.
So with that, just like Garrett said, Payne's really does strive to offer the community an option for food that is healthy and unique. And one way that they try to be especially inclusive of the community is through their food truck. So Payne's not only has their restaurant, which is a really fun atmosphere that draws people in, but they also try to reach outside of Gas City by traveling to Marion. Like they come to Iowa football games or other events around in the different neighboring cities, and that way they really are engaging community because you have a whole different population and demographic of people at these events versus that people that might not be able to afford actually coming into the sit-down restaurant. And so that is one way that they really have tried to be inclusive of the community, but they did acknowledge, even when we got to speak with them, that being able to use community needs in marketing has kind of been a struggle for them and just really not a focus in their marketing strategy. And so that's something that's really exciting for us as we get to spend time working on a marketing strategy for them, is looking at how we can really engage the community better. And one part of that is really identifying who their ideal customers are. So like Garrett said, they really do want to cater to every type of customer, but their ideal customer is really someone who has a little bit more financial means and is able to afford their higher prices because it is really good quality food and really healthy food. And so they're hoping to engage with, whether that's members of the Taylor community, IWU, or just generally around the area that are interested in sit-down dining and especially healthy options that stand apart from the neighboring restaurants around them.
But the problem that they're looking to address with their marketing strategy and service is that they want to go above and beyond with providing people with not only a unique experience, but a healthy option to go along with that. And one of the cool things that we saw about Payne's restaurant is just one of the little excerpts from Stephen Payne. He says that as a customer, I want you to lose yourself for a moment and be lost in the ambience, lost in the flavors, the sound, the wine, and when you look into the eyes of the one you love and experience heaven just for a second, that is my goal. So obviously they're not just searching to fill another hole in the market. They're looking to be a complete experience. They're looking to provide their customers with service that is good for their bodies and good for their souls.
Okay, so I'm Lainey.
I'm Seth.
And we're gonna go into a little bit about the pricing and what makes Payne's different from the rest of their competitors.
Yeah, so Payne's is a really expensive restaurant. That's one of the biggest things that keeps customers from going there. They're a small business and they have all fresh ingredients, so it makes it really hard for them to get customers to come in because, for example, like one dinner plate would be like around $17. Also, another thing that would keep customers from going there is there's a 4% charge that they add to using credit cards, which makes it a little less incentive to use credit cards. And just a personal story that I have is one time I went to Payne's with my family and I looked at the menu and I just saw the prices and we're like, all right, yeah, we're gonna go to Cracker Barrel instead, which is right next door. So we just left and went to Cracker Barrel instead. So that's one thing that they said, that a lot of people will come into the restaurant, look at the menu, and just kind of walk out and go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So some of their competitors, I guess, like you mentioned Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel is literally right next door to Payne's and also kind of serves dinner options. And while Payne's is like a British pub style and have kind of unique menu items, they also have big competition with Cracker Barrel because they are right there, and Cracker Barrel is well known and they have lower prices, like you said. And another restaurant that is one of their big competitors is Grains and Grill, which is in Fairmount. And they have a brewery, so kind of giving off that same vibe that Payne's is trying to give off, as well as having really delicious food. So those are their two top competitors, I would say.
Yeah, just like you said, delicious food. That's one of the things that sets them apart a lot, is they have really delicious food, especially what they specialize in, which is fish and chips, which is widely known as a British food, which that's what the restaurant is based off of, is sort of a British concept. So they make really good food, which some people find is worth the price, some people don't. So that's one thing that really sets Payne's apart.
Yeah, definitely their vibe and all of their different menu options with the fish and chips and the bread pudding. Those are things you can find at a Cracker Barrel or McDonald's. So.